I have a lot more to offer than my image.
Are actresses making more money now than they did 70 years ago? Back in the 50s, the iconic Marilyn Monroe set the world on fire with her acting prowess and stunning beauty. However, despite her immense popularity, Monroe faced significant challenges in her career. Some might say she was the top-earning actress of her time, but others will disagree. You see, for the longest time, Marilyn was unpaid and overworked. When Monroe made it to Hollywood, everyone told her she needed to sign with an agency. That would be the only way she'd succeed. Those agencies wanted the best. Little did the actress know, they only wanted the best for themselves. Even as one of the most popular actresses of her time, Monroe earned a salary of just $500 a week. Marilyn cashed out about 18 grand for one of her best films, Gentlemen Prefer Blondes. That was small change compared to how much her co-star, Jane Russell, made. Jane was moving free agent at the time, and she bagged 200 grand for the gig. Later, Marilyn would say that the studio executives were disrespectful while filming.
I think it's a very limited view.
Yikes! So, how did she turn it around? She might have played the dumb blonde, but Marilyn Monroe was a savvy businesswoman. It took some time to get her foot in, but here's how it went down. In 1955, under the cover of night, Monroe, with a black wig and some thick, dark sunnies, boarded a plane under the name Zelda Zonk. She and her favorite photographer, Milton Green, put the plans for Marilyn Monroe Productions in motion. On January 7th, she announced the company to the world.
Yes, it is a very happy time. I'm happy to be back.
For both Marilyn and Hollywood, it was a revolutionary moment. She was the first actress to ever do such a thing. It declared Marilyn's determination to end the limited and sexist expectations of her studio contract and public image. Even though she fought for her cash, Marilyn also fought for better roles.
But I would like to do also dramatic parts too.
She was tired of that worn-out sex symbol label. After the production company was formed, Marilyn actually scored 2 roles that were the highest paid in her career. But before she could finish filming even one of those movies, Marilyn Monroe passed on. Some say she would have made $2 million from those roles. Marilyn earned only a little under $3 million from all her movie roles during her career. That would be around $25 million in today's economy. In the end, she gained fame that made money for a lot of men, but not much for herself. At the time of her death, Marilyn was only worth around 800 grand. That's less than $10 million in today's economy. And what about stars like Audrey Hepburn? She broke out into stardom when Marilyn started her production company. Roman Holiday put Audrey on the map, but she made peanuts for the role. The actress was only paid a little over 12 grand. That's even less than what Marilyn made before she dropped Fox. Luckily for her, Audrey's salary increased by 100 times as her acting career grew. By the time she retired, Hepburn had made enough from films to spend her days traveling the world and doing humanitarian work. Audrey passed away in 1993. At the time, her net worth was $100 million. The main difference was that Audrey never had to start a production company for her salary to increase. There's 2 theories about this.
How much time do we have?
One is that Marilyn Monroe's fight for her creative rights started a ripple effect in Hollywood. It wasn't a massive wave, but still a start. By the time Audrey Hepburn filmed Funny Face, she was earning a minimum salary of 150 grand. Which brings us to the second theory. Audrey won an Oscar and many other accolades for her breakout film role. This automatically made her more desirable in the film industry. Not to mention, the actress didn't make as many films as others usually would.
It's very hard to say, I just like it.
That's because, as much as she'd broken into Hollywood, Audrey had spent years before acting on theater stages. So, she was desirable and picky with her roles. The most subtle way for Audrey to raise her quote. Wait, hold up, briefly. What's a quote? It doesn't work the way we'd assume, where someone comes to you and tells you what they charge for their service. Nah, in Hollywood, the tables are turned. Hollywood quotes are how many zeros it takes to get an actor to show up on set. And the way that quote is decided definitely has some gender bias factored in. Fast forward to the 2010s, and actresses were still spicing the same beef. For example, in 2015, Michelle Williams and Mark Wahlberg had to do reshoots for director Ridley Scott's All the Money in the World. You'll never guess this pay gap. Mark made $1.5 million, but Michelle, she got less than $1,000 for 10 days of work. And that can mostly be blamed on Michelle's quote. It's like a bar that gets set for an actor or actress, and most companies feel they don't really need to raise that bar. But, as actress Emma Stone graciously said in 2017, if my male co-star, who has a higher quote than me but believes we are equal, takes a pay cut so that I can match him, that changes my quote in the future and changes my life. During that time, she and Jennifer Lawrence were the highest paid actresses in Hollywood. J-Lo pulled in $46 million in late 2016, thanks to her portrayal of Katniss Everdeen. By age 33, Lawrence amassed a net worth of $160 million. She made $40 million alone for the Mockingjay films. How impressive is that? By 2017, Emma Stone's role in La La Land got her an Oscar. Naturally, that helped her quote a lot. She made around $27 million for all her work that year.
I gotta do what I gotta do, you know?
But even so, Emma's co-star Ryan Gosling made more than her, and he didn't even win an Oscar. Now let's jump to the 2020s, the era of Margot Robbie, Millie Bobby Brown, and Zendaya, to name a few. FYI, stereotypical Barbie and Ken earned the exact same amount of money. Barbie made Margot Robbie the highest paid actress in Hollywood.
Yeah, it's like 90% of me was certain that this would be a big deal and a massive hit.
But thanks to deals with franchises like DC Comics, the bombshell can bank on raising her quote. At 33 years old, Margot has an estimated net worth of $60 million. Also, can we talk about Millie Bobby Brown for a second? Because wow, the girl cashed in a $10 million check, and she wasn't even in her 20s yet. Because Millie's breakout role was on the super popular TV series Stranger Things, her movie quote had to be impressive from the jump.
Why do you look poor?
Then, when Enola Holmes was a hit, Millie cashed in on the excitement. At just 20 years old, Millie Bobby Brown had an estimated net worth of $14 million.
But like I said, I like working for Netflix.
That's already more than what Marilyn Monroe had made in the prime of her career. And yes, we're accounting for inflation. Needless to say, Marilyn would be so proud of how Hollywood has changed to accommodate women. Now, it's normal to have female directors, and many actresses are also producers. Inspired by generations of great women before them, these are two actresses who started their own production companies. In true Elle Woods fashion, Reese Witherspoon just decided one day to start a production company. She realized how few women were getting the opportunity even to work off-screen. So, the actress took matters into her own hands. Here's one you may never have guessed. Alicia Vikander wowed audiences with her portrayal of Lara Croft. But did you know that her production company, Vicarious Productions, is responsible for the hit TV show Euphoria? How cool is that? One of the reasons Alicia chose the project was because Euphoria had a female director. Do you want to know more about how male actors' net worths have changed over the years? Let us know in the comments. That's it for today. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe. See ya!